Friends, the Evmos launch has not been very successful. However, the Evmos ecosystem in general is still super exciting because there are so many exciting projects in the pipeline. And in today's episode, I will introduce you to the most important Evmos projects you should have an eye on. So let us not waste much more time and get this episode started. Before kickstarting this episode, please note as always that I'm not a financial advisor, I'm just a German guy on the internet who loves to talk about everything that the interchain world has to offer. If this is the content that you prefer, please make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel and give this video a like. This triggers the YouTube algorithm and leads to an Atom and Evmos pump on the other hand. However, let us now dive deeper into the vibrant ecosystem of Evmos. So first of all, just a quick reminder, Evmos is an EVM chain that is also IBC enabled. So developers from the Ethereum ecosystem will find it very, very easy to deploy their Ethereum smart contracts on Evmos while getting exposure to the rest of the Cosmos ecosystem due to IBC. So this is pretty cool. And we already saw that Aave announced to launch on Evmos as soon as they launch. So yes, it's confirmed. We will see more and more Ethereum projects launching on Evmos. This is pretty cool. However, this episode is about Evmos native smart contracts and Evmos native projects. So why is this so important? Here's the thing. There has been a very important report by Electric Capital. And guys, this is maybe one of the most important reports ever. You can find the link to this report in the description below. I highly recommend you to read this report. But in a nutshell, this report says that there may be many layer ones, such as Near, Harmony, Avalanche, and so on and so forth. But some of them will find it some of them find it very hard to find developers, because there are many smart contracts such as Aave or Curve or SushiSwap, and these applications, they basically launched on every existing layer one, but they do not bring immediate value to this ecosystem because they just leverage the liquidity that is on each layer one, but there won't be any native developers on each ecosystem. So for example, Harmony has a big developer problem right now. Also, Near is struggling finding more and more developers. So for every layer one to succeed, it's super important to have a native DeFi ecosystem, because otherwise it will be very hard to find more and more developers for the long-term future of each layer one. So this is why it's so important to have Evmos native dApps as well, because otherwise Evmos will become just an ecosystem where all the well-known Ethereum projects will launch in order to leverage the liquidity. But as already mentioned, it's very important to have basically in-house DeFi dApps for the long-term vision of each project. So let us start with the very first Evmos native project. And this project is called Diffusion. Diffusion is an AMM, and it is a fork of Uniswap v2. So it will be possible for users to swap different tokens back and forth. And on the other hand, you will be able to provide liquidity on Diffusion. So this is pretty cool and also very important, because many AMMs, they capture a lot of liquidity in each ecosystem, and Diffusion could become the dominant AMM in the Evmos ecosystem. So this will be very interesting to see. And another aspect I want to highlight here, Diffusion announced its airdrop, and the airdrop will be for Uniswap users, and the snapshot was taken on the 31st of December 2021. And if you held Uni on that day, or if you generally used the Uniswap application before and paid vast amounts of gas fees, then you will be eligible for this airdrop. Also, people who staked Osmo with FRENS validator or binary holdings will also be eligible for the airdrop, and people who will be early adopters of the protocol. So if you provide liquidity on Diffusion, or if you swap different tokens on Diffusion, then you will be also eligible for the airdrop. Last but not least, also Evmos stakers will be eligible for the airdrop, but more information regarding that will follow very soon. But there is one aspect I'm super excited about, because 45% of the daily release of all diff tokens, so diff is the native token of Diffusion, 45% of the daily release will go to liquidity miners. They will be used as incentives so that more and more people will provide liquidity on Diffusion. And this makes me super excited because I think that we can expect high APRs on Diffusion, for example, for the Evmos pair. So this will be very, very exciting to see how this will play out, how high the APRs will be on Diffusion. And of course, when holding Diff, you can also vote on increasing or decreasing the liquidity, the LP incentives, for people who are interested in providing liquidity. So of course, Diffusion also represents a governance token. So again, I'm very excited. I think that Diffusion has the potential to become the dominant AMM on Evmos. So Diffusion got my whole attention here. Because we just saw it with Osmosis. When Osmosis launched in summer 2021, it basically soaked in the whole liquidity of the Cosmos ecosystem and became big. So this is the reason why I'm super excited about Diffusion. Small disclosure, besides of organizing Cosmoverse and doing this show and being a part of FRENS Validator, I also work with Diffusion. Project number 2 I want to talk about is Expanding Space. Expanding Space is an NFT marketplace. So it will be the very first Evmos native NFT marketplace. And this is pretty cool. But now, huge airdrop alert. There hasn't been any official news yet. However, Expanding Space also has a validator. So I'm pretty sure that if you stake with Expanding Space, then there might be an airdrop around the corner. So I will anticipate that. However, I want to show you one thing, because if you go on their Twitter profile, then you will see that there is not much. So we don't, there is not a huge engagement here right now. We just see some tweets here and there. So it will be very interesting to see how active the Expanding Space community will become. I'm very curious, but again, Expanding Space is also a validator, so I'm really anticipate this. So maybe there's an airdrop around the corner. I will keep a close eye on Expanding Space, but right now there's not much to tell about this Evmos project. Project number 3 I have a close eye on is Kinesis Labs. What is Kinesis? Kinesis is a stable coin exchange. And this is pretty interesting because Kinesis claims to want to bring the first $100 billion in stablecoins to the Cosmos ecosystem. And I mean, in 2021, we have seen how important stablecoins are. We saw the rise of UST, and we saw how UST became a serious competitor of DAI and USDC and USDT. So I'm very excited about stablecoins in general. And of course, there are many discussions around regulating stablecoins, but I think that's a topic for itself. Nonetheless, let's have a closer look at their website. So Kinesis Labs, they want to bring the first $100 billion in stablecoins to the Cosmos ecosystem. This is pretty cool. And they also announced some partnerships with Seller Network and with Nomad. They will basically help to bridge all these assets to Kinesis. And because Kinesis is on Evmos and Evmos is IBC enabled, it's an indirect way, so to say, to bring all of these juicy stablecoins to the Cosmos ecosystem. So let's see how this will play out. If you want to dive deep, here is a nice documentation. However, and I think this is like worth highlighting here. If you click on Kinesis token, you will see that there are no information yet, but super excited. Maybe they will also do an airdrop. Let's see. Their Medium blog posts are not so detailed, so I would definitely recommend you to dive deeper here. Nonetheless, I think they could become a pretty important project for Evmos and the whole Cosmos ecosystem, because the project really focuses on stablecoins only. So really, let's see how this will play out. I will again have a very close eye on Kinesis Labs. The next project I want to talk about is Coslend. Coslend is the very first decentralized money market on Evmos. So again, let us have a closer eye on their website. So Coslend, as I mentioned, the money market of the Cosmos ecosystem. So again, they will launch an Evmos. Because of this, I will also have exposure to the rest of the Cosmos ecosystem. And the interesting part is that Coslend is also a fork of Compound. And this is pretty interesting because just think about Diffusion. Diffusion is a fork of Uniswap v2, and Coslend is a fork of Compound. So we definitely see what I was telling you about this small network effect, because for developers, it's very easy to deploy Ethereum smart contracts on Evmos. So I expect that we will see many, many projects forking these DeFi OG projects from Ethereum. So projects like Aave, like Compound, like Uniswap, and so on and so forth. So I think this will be very, very interesting to see. I also want to add here that, of course, Coslend will somehow compete against Aave, because Aave will launch on Evmos soon as well. But I think that Evmos will provide a gigantic environment, and there will be enough place for everybody. Yeah, but this is basically why I'm so excited about Coslend. And of course, you can also dive deeper into Coslend here by clicking on their documentation. They will explain to you why they launched on Evmos initially. Of course, Evmos is much more scalable than Ethereum, and for new projects, it doesn't make much sense to launch on Ethereum, also because of the gas fees. And here, that's a problem, of course, if you want to learn more about the CLND token, which will be the native cryptocurrency of Coslend, you won't find much information. But also there is an airdrop around the corner, but here again, no information about this yet. But I'm super excited about this. Let's see how this will play out. Again, this is like everything what I show you is somewhat speculative. But I think that Evmos is becoming a big ecosystem, and you should have an eye on this ecosystem to basically have the first mover advantage for yourself. So what we also see here is that we now have an AMM, we have an NFT marketplace, we have a place for stable coins, and also we have our decentralized money market. So we basically see all these money Legos for Evmos coming together. So yeah, I will also keep a close eye on Coslend. So we have a money market, we have an AMM, we have a place for stablecoins, and we have an NFT marketplace. What do we need as well? Well, we need some hype. We need some serious hype. We need some culture. And again, I think NFTs are a very good way to do so. So we have this NFT marketplace, which is somewhat speculative, but where does the culture come from? And there's a project that will enable this, or that will bring this culture to this Evmos ecosystem. And the project is called Ozpunks. And you basically see the connection directly. It's all about bringing CryptoPunks to Evmos. And yeah, this is like very, very interesting to see. So you can mint your Ozpunk, like the Evmos version of CryptoPunks on ozpunks.com. So yeah, this will be like very interesting to see if there will be like a big hype around these NFTs. So far, it's very hard to tell anything about this. We just know that there will be 10,000 Ozpunks available. That's cool. And it will be also able to stake these NFTs. And there will also be an airdrop, like an OSP airdrop. So there will also be a native cryptocurrency for this project. However, if you scroll down, you just see what will happen, but there are no detailed information regarding this. So it's very hard to tell what will happen in the near future also. And I think this is what all of these projects have in common. They can't tell much right now because the Evmos launch, was not that successful. So all of these projects depend on the successful launch of Evmos. So as soon as Evmos is launched, we will also know how much it will cost to mint such an Ozpunk. For me, this is definitely category gambling. I really don't know what to expect from. I really don't know what to expect here. Maybe like depending on the price, I will also mint 1 or 2 Ozpunks. But yeah, it's very hard to predict what will happen with this project. But for me, I would say this is category gambling. So if you are very risk averse, why not give it a try? The next project I want to talk about is not an NFT project and also no DeFi app. It's a bridge. The bridge is called Nomad and will be the main bridge for the Evmos ecosystem and will help Evmos to connect to other non-IBC enabled EVM chains. Nomad comes from the Moonbeam and Ethereum ecosystem and again will help Evmos to connect to other ecosystems that not enabled IBC yet. So this will be very interesting to see how successful Nomad will become and how many people will use this bridge. But in a nutshell, Evmos will also help developers to build cross-chain applications, and apparently they avoid complexity. So they want to build like an easy to use bridge, or they already built it, sorry, but this bridge avoids complexity. So apparently it's very safe and good for developers to build. But for me, it's very hard to basically rate this bridge right now because I'm not an expert with bridges. I am an IBC maxi, so to say. But anyway, let's have a closer look at their Twitter profile. Yeah, it's basically, they want to enable this future of cross-chain communication. Yeah, you can also find the link to their Twitter account in the description below if you want to learn more about them. But we have seen many airdrops regarding bridges. I don't think that there is an airdrop planned right now, but as soon as Evmos is launched, I will start to use this bridge because it might be that Nomad bridge users will be eligible for a certain airdrop, or maybe Nomad is about to launch their own token. So yeah, I think this will be very interesting to see. So I will definitely use this bridge. And Nomad collaborates with all of these projects I mentioned. So for example, with Diffusion, they collaborate with them and yeah, help these projects to achieve this high interoperability to other non-IBC enabled EVM chains. So I think Nomad is a very valuable project for the Evmos ecosystem because it even increases the interoperability. So besides having exposure to Ethereum and Cosmos only, we will see how EVM chains that are not IBC enabled yet will be able to interact with these chains. So for example, with Moonbeam or so. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about Nomad. And yeah, I will definitely use this bridge. Maybe there is an airdrop around the corner. So guys, that's it. These are my projects I have a close eye on in the Evmos ecosystem. I know that there are many, many more projects, but yeah, I mean, you have to keep your focus on some projects, and these are the projects I have on my list for the near future. I also think about like just making an episode just about NFTs on Evmos. So let me know in the comment section below if you are interested in this type of content. So also, again, I'm super excited about Evmos because I mentioned the Electric Capital report earlier. It's so important to have in-house DeFi apps, and we basically see this right now. We see how the first dApps are launching or are about to launch on Evmos that solely focus on the Evmos ecosystem right now, and we see important projects like Nomad who help developers to get this high level of cross-chain communication and interoperability. So again, super, super, super excited about the Evmos launch. It's the project I'm anticipating the most for 2021. I know, again, the launch has not been very successful, but I agreed with Federico Kunze-Kulmer. It was a bumpy start, but the rest of the journey is much more exciting, and I'm super confident that we will see Evmos launching successfully in the next couple of weeks or so. So yeah, let's see how this will play out. With that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel and give it a like if you want to see Evmos and all of these dApps pumping after the Evmos launch. And with that being said, I see you on Monday for another episode of Simply Explained.